What's the tea, man? What's the tea on this? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sim. If this is your first time here, welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, their collaboration with Aina. If you watch Aina's videos and you don't sing to that song in her intro, then are you really a true supporter of Aina? For those of you who don't know, Jackie is a YouTuber. She's been making videos for over, I think, 10 years now. And she's a woman of color, and she's always trying to push for brands to be better when they are creating foundation products or any base products, so they are inclusive for women of color. I love that about her. She's so much fun to watch. She has so many good tutorials. I love watching her and Dennis. Dennis is my fellow Brit. But yeah, she's super fun. She's collaborated with a few brands, but this one is so big because she's expanding the shade range for the foundation, which is already on the market, but the darkest color is not that dark, and Too Faced knew that they needed somebody like Jackie to help them expand into the deeper shade ranges, just so that they could be inclusive to other women of color. She did a really good job, and I think she went a few shades darker than their already darkest shade, and then she went all the way up to my skin tone, which is the one that I'm going to be trying on today. So back to the foundation. I love this packaging. I'm not huge on packaging, but I think this is so cute. It matches my nails. No, I'm really not that kind of girl, but it does match my nail. Okay, enough. It's so cute. I love the light pink, I love the black, I love the gold. It's so cute. I know it's just cardboard. I don't know why people are just like, oh, and then the corner is like this and it looks like this. Like, I mean, the product, the thing I like the most about this is that it's got all the information on the side. Some products don't do that, they just have the ingredients. This has got like the benefits of it. So it says it's got coconut water in it, which is good for keeping the moisture in your skin. It's got alpine rose, which increases the radiance in your skin, and it's got hyaluronic acid, which is my favorite thing to include in a product, and that is going to plump up your skin and make it look younger, more youthful, and all that good stuff. I was looking at the ingredients, and it's got glycerin in there, which is a good product to have in primer. So you don't necessarily need a primer with this. I'm not huge on primers anyway. I think they're a gimmick, so I tend not to use many primers. But anyway, that's just me. I got the shade Praline, which is the lightest of the new shades that were released. And this is what it looks like. The foundation. Typical. Like I said before, I'm not that obsessed with packaging. I just like it to be well thought out, simple and easy to use, and it's all of that. It's got a pump. I expect every foundation I buy these days to have a pump on it. I remember back in the day, you'd pay £3 or something stupid for an extra pump. It's like, put the pump on, man. You pay £3 extra for a pump. And then when you put the lid back on, it doesn't screw on properly because the pump is blocking the lid. It's a mess. NARS, what was the foundation called? I can't remember what the foundation was called, but it's a nice foundation. It's just rubbish packaging. Anyway, so this is what I expect foundations to look like. It doesn't have to be glass, it can be whatever. It needs to be durable when I take it traveling. I feel like this is okay. This is plastic. It's not so flimsy that it can break. I had a Makeup Forever one which burst open in my bag once because the lid went cracked and it pressed onto the pump, and the pump pressed out all this foundation, and the foundation was all over my bag. It was a mess. Anyway, this looks sturdy. This is good. It does have a bit of a weight to it, which could be an issue for traveling, but if you just can take one foundation, it's not the end of the world. Anyway, this has 30 milliliters or 1 fluid ounce, which is standard for a foundation. I don't think there's anything else more to say about that. I bought this from Sephora US. This was $39, and then I had this shipped over to the Philippines. I had quite a few things shipped over, so I can't exactly tell you how much this cost to ship. It's made in Canada. I didn't know that. I don't think there's anything else to say about the packaging, but let's jump into the tutorial and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end. To start off with, I'm gonna prime my face with the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 spray. This is supposed to be a replenishing primer and setting spray. So I'm just gonna keep your mouth closed when you're spraying your face. It feels quite nice. It smells really good. It's got coconut in it, I think. It's got coconut water and probiotic skin-based ingredients. It says you can use it to prime your skin, set your makeup, and also refresh your skin anytime during the day. It's got some sodium hyaluronate in it, and you know me, I love sodium hyaluronate. And it's got glycerin in it, so of course it's gonna be a really good primer. Aside from the coconut water, which makes it smell amazing. I think it's pretty good. Oh, it does have fragrance in it, so if you have sensitive skin, you might want to be cautious of this. I'm just going to add some embryo release to my face because I just want to have that extra hydration. This foundation is known to be really radiant and really plump up your skin, and it's had really good reviews, but I've never been able to try it because the color that is closest to my skin isn't peachy enough, so it looks a bit gray on my skin, and the one below that, or the one darker than that, is a bit too warm for my skin, so my face ends up looking really dark. This is my favorite way to prep my skin. I'm a big fan of primers. Most of them are full with too much silicone in it, so it makes my foundation slide around. These days foundations tend to have silicone in it. I feel like primers can be a bit gimmicky and they don't really do much. The only ones that I tend to use are the pore filling primers because you can see that they're smoothing out the skin, whereas all the other ones like the brightening and all of that, you can find other products to make your face look brighter, or you know, other ways to prep your skin. Oh, that feels good. It says it's undetectable, medium to full coverage. Excuse me. It says it's undetectable medium to full coverage foundation and it's oil free. So I've been trying this out all week, and I generally don't wear foundation in the daytime. If I do, I wear a light to medium coverage because it's just too hot to be wearing full coverage foundation or full coverage any makeup during the day, especially in this heat in the Philippines. Even when I go back to the UK, I tend not to go so full coverage with my foundation, but that's just personal preference. Another personal preference I just want to state before I do this is I generally prefer dewy satin finish foundations over matte foundations, and reason being is that sometimes I can feel a bit dehydrated, and what happens when I put foundation on is my face absorbs all the watery, the liquid out of the foundation, and then I'm left with like dry cakey mess if I don't prep properly. I just prefer the satin or the dewy finish. Enough about me, let's talk about the product. Okay, so this color Praline was made for Nabella Noor and all the other South Asian girls who struggle to find foundations which are peachy enough, they color correct, everything that we want our bases to be. So that's why I was so excited about this. There's only a few foundations already that do it, but it's just so nice that other companies out there are now more aware of brown skinned people. Not like some companies who think you just get brown in the summer. So anyway, this pump, see, oh, it's quite generous with one pump. That personally for me is too much foundation, but we're gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna show you what the color looks like. It's a bit more peachy and a bit more orangey, which I personally like in foundations because I like my base to color correct. Oh, do you see that? I like my bases to color correct when I'm putting foundation on because it's gonna be the first layer. So I tend to go in with something a bit more warmer, a bit more peachier, just so that all the pigmentation on my skin is colored and my skin is even tone. Now I know I don't have that much pigmentation, but there are so many different colors in my skin that if I match it to what I think my color should be, my foundation is going to look gray because I've got these like darker spots everywhere. I'm gonna look gray around my mouth, I'm gonna look gray over here because I have a patch there, and it's gonna look a tiny bit whitish. If you look at this, you might think that it's too peachy, but when it's blended out, it's going to cover up even like the small pigmentation here. Did you see that? It covers it all up. Like I said, I've been wearing this all week and I love the way that it looks as a light coverage foundation. And also with foundations, I tend to like things poking through. So like you see, I have this here, this blemish, which is turned into a scar because I kept picking it. I like it peeking through because it gives almost like a realness to the skin. It doesn't make it look too fake, although I do really like the full coverage look, just not for every day. Just not me. And like I said, especially in this heat, it's just so hard to handle. Okay, so that is one thin layer. I think it looks really good. Like it makes my skin look all even. It doesn't look like I've got any pigmentation. It just looks like I've got naturally flawless skin. This is exactly what I expected the Born This Way foundation to be like because everyone raves about it being such a good skin-like finish. It looks really, really pretty. I think I would compare it most to the Makeup Forever HD foundation. This is the kind of look that I find I get from that as well. This foundation has more skin benefits in it over the Makeup Forever one. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to put this all over the areas where I feel like I need a tiny bit extra coverage. I have this area of pigmentation here which I generally don't cover up too much because I don't like too much foundation and product around the outside, especially liquids. I don't like too much liquid around the outside of my face because I'm always like on my hands, or I'm thinking, or I'm touching my face somehow, and I just don't like having liquids there. Now, people think that sometimes sometimes when they see my pictures from this side that I haven't blended out my contour, but I barely contour. It's just that area of pigmentation. Like, chill out, sis. It's okay. Let me live. Okay, that's as far as I would go with foundation because I don't like it to be too heavy for a few reasons. One, because it's going to be the first base. Two, because I layer products on top and I don't want it to become too heavy, too thick. And three, because I like my skin to breathe when I put foundation on. So I don't tend to like to cover it up too much. If you look at this in comparison to my neck, you'll see that my neck is a lot lighter. Even my arms, my whole body is a lot fairer. That's because I normally wear long sleeve tops, so my face is naturally darker than the rest of my body. And what I do to counteract that is I'll go in with a bit of highlight just to brighten up certain areas of my face because I don't like my face looking too light. I don't know, I prefer it a bit brown. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face and then I'll come back and talk to you about what I think about the foundation. Overall, this foundation is really versatile. You can get a light, medium or full coverage out of it, which is really, really good. You can't do that with many foundations. I can do that with matte foundations, Makeup Forever and Giorgio Armani. They're the three, and this one 4, that allow me to have any coverage that I want. So it's really good when you're going away for destination weddings and you need to take one product. This gives you more of a dewy, kind of radiant, satiny kind of finish. So if you like that sort of finish to your foundation, then you're really gonna like this. If you like more of a matte foundation, you might like this because it is oil-free. Jackie Aina created it and she's an oily person, I believe. The way she preps her skin is she'll put primer on it and then she'll put powder on her primer and then go in with a foundation, and it works for her. So maybe try that. If you think this is too satin for you and you prefer a matte foundation, this will be a really nice base, and then you can go in with powders on top, or if you really want to, you can use a mattifying primer. There are ways to make this look matte. I think the new way of wearing foundations is called muey. It's like having matte in some places, having dewy in other places, and I really like that kind of look, and you can achieve that with this as well. I think my favorite thing about this is the color. To a lot of people, I know my friends back home in the UK didn't really like MAC foundations because they thought they were too orangey and too peachy. I prefer that in a foundation because being Indian and having different colors in your skin, you can't always pick a color to match your neck, which is what most makeup artists suggest you do. I have to generally go in with a darker foundation on my face just to cover up that pigmentation, and then I can brighten it and lighten it with other products. So this color is really good. It's got that orangey peachy tone to it, which is going to color correct and cancel out any darkness, and it's a golden undertone, so it's going to suit our undertone, especially Indian people of my skin color. Not to say that you can't be cool. There are some cool Indian people. There are loads of cool Indian people. What I mean, cool-toned Indian people. But generally, for the majority of Asian girls who look like me, you are really going to like the color of this product. I have worn this for lunch, and not only did I get so many compliments about how good my skin looked that day, I had some errands to run, then I came back and I was about to wipe my face off because I felt so icky and hot, and I thought my face is probably broken down by now because I didn't really apply it for a long-lasting kind of look. I just applied it for, oh, I'm going out for lunch and I'm gonna be back home. So I applied it very lightly, which I know can break down sometimes, and I was so surprised how good it looked after like 6 or 7 hours of running around and doing stuff. I was so impressed with it. I think I mentioned before that the closest foundation to this is the Makeup Forever HD. So if you're looking for a foundation and you already like the Makeup Forever HD, then you will love this one. The way I apply this today, I put one full layer on my face and I put a few extra layers around here, as you saw in the demonstration. But I don't feel like it's overly made up, do you know what I mean? I just feel like I look presentable and put together. It might be overly made up to some people. Looking up close at my skin, it looks really healthy and dewy. There's some foundations can really suck the life out of your skin and it looks really dry and cakey, but this looks really radiant. The only negative I would say about this is that in the Philippines it's really hard to get hold of. You have to ship it in from abroad. Anywhere else in the world, like the UK, etc., they have places where you can buy this online. That's the only negative I can think of. Even the pump for this is pretty generous, so I I used one whole pump, and generally that's enough to do my face on a medium to full coverage. I had so much product left on my hand after one pump. Too Faced, you are going places. I also bought the sculpting concealers, which I will do another video on because I thought it would be too long to include both these products in one video. I will link that up here when that's done. You can see what my thoughts are there. I don't think there's anything else. Actually, you know what? When I'm finished with that video, I'm gonna leave it here so it's easy for you. If not, then I will be leaving another video for you to watch right here. You can go to that video after you have subscribed, which is down here, and you've clicked the notification bell, and you've liked the video, and you've commented what you like about this video. I don't think there's anything else to say about this product. Oh, would I recommend it? Of course. Of course. I would definitely recommend this to anybody who's looking for a new foundation on the market. I will be doing a video where I will show all my favorite foundations, and I'll do a foundation demonstration on how I apply foundation to make it look more natural but flawless and not too cakey. So I'll get my ass working on those videos for you guys, and until then I will see you in my next video. Bye.